What's up, everybody? How's it going tonight? See, there's already been a lively conversation about tubes versus tubeless before we even came on. I've definitely just my two modern bikes, tubeless, but when I end up getting a flat in one of them, I usually end up throwing a tube, or when the Renair's tires get old, I end up putting tubes in them because a lot of times the sidewalls just won't hold. So, but yeah, with older bikes, I don't bother trying to reset them up tubeless or road bikes, but I find a lot of peace of mind in off-road bikes being tubeless. So,
Isabel Rios subscribed to the channel.
Oh, nice. We've got the audio working tonight. So, yeah, do some quick what's ups, but I don't want to get too far behind since we already had such a good chat. Peekaboo, Ian from England, Rock in here. He was the one who started the tubeless conversation. Anthony, what's up? In Ireland, Blaine, Logan's Run, how's it going? A channel member. Who else we got in here that I didn't mention yet? Printing books. Brent out in Cincinnati, and Blaine's in Frederick, Maryland. Frederick. We've got the fruit flies have gotten horrible if you've been here. So I run fans down here when I'm not streaming, and it keeps them away, and now we're getting attacked. So Large in Mushroom Hill, Casey Green in Missoula. Oh, cool. West and South Texas, where it's blistering hot. What's up, the main outdoors? Uh, Peekaboo already said what's up too. Carl here in here. Steve's in Lexington. Bouncing Bike Life. How's it going? So yeah, nice, lively chat right off the beginning. But it's been like kind of a, like mentioned, huge couple weeks for the channel, so not too surprising. What really surprised me, I was just telling Dave this before we came on, is how many people watched the video I did that was kind of a little bio. I called it a Q&A. Like, I did not expect that one to do as well as it did, so it was kind of cool. Like, not like I thought I put out some garbage video or anything. I just came out on a Saturday morning. I'm like, I'll put this out now. I made it. I kind of like it, but it's not a big deal. And then that one, it just shows as many years that I've been doing this, I'm still surprised by how it goes sometimes. So Carl, you went tubeless for the first time? Yeah, at first I didn't like the whole thing. I didn't understand what the point was, and then once you go tubeless, it's hard to go back to tubes. You just end up worrying about, kind of like Rock was saying, you start to just, you get used to flatting with tubes, and then you start to, when you have tubeless, you're like, you just don't worry about it as much for most riding. So no problem so far, but it seems like you have to top it off a little more frequently. Yeah, that'll really depend on the sealant and the tires as well. Like I have an extra light casing tire on the front of the Rally right now, and then the one on the rear is just a real beat up tire. And so those I check the pressure almost every ride, but it really depends on the tires. Like if you are using something a little more sturdy, like on the Gunner, I've barely put any pressure in since I went to the, what do they call this step above the standard casing? It's like whatever. It's not the extra tough, but there's a one in between, and that I almost never have to put any air in it. And then I do know that Dirty River, since they've been setting up bikes tubeless for so long, and they all ride tubeless, that they know the right sealants and all that stuff. So, and I have them set up my bikes tubeless, so helps to have the experts do it for sure. Yeah, Ian. I'm sure people will jump in and give you some advice. Frequent flyer on this channel is recommending Salsa Journeyers. So, what's up, Ryan? College Park, Maryland. Nice. Fat Bike Mike is in Wyoming and a Cleveland native. Nice. Don, what's up? Old guy in our uses regs wrapped around the rims to get around. Rubber tires are overrated. Yeah, I was sitting outside at a bar in Highland Square in Akron one time, and a guy rode down West Market Street, which is like the main thoroughfare through Akron, all the way from the west side to the east side, and it's on a slight grade, and he rode by with just rims on an old 10-speed. It was the worst noise I've ever heard in my life. Were you out there? No. It was, yeah, such a racket. I don't know how he was keeping the thing upright. I got to assume that was like the only ride he had ever done. There's no way he could be getting around like that. It would have to destroy the rims, box section rims, you know. So it was wild. Yeah, his Pudgy said Salsa Journey are good entry level. Entry level? It's above entry level. I mean, entry level for salsa, I guess. But you could definitely go cheaper, like we've mentioned before. Fairdale, States. What's the other? You guys always mention a third brand that does inexpensive gravel builds. Poseidon, right? But Chad, Rochester, New York, where we just were about a month ago. Just started biking 2 months ago. Nice, and can't get enough. Hit all the trails around there. Oh, thanks. Oh, and large getting me. Endurance casing is the casing above the standard casing on Reneer's tires. I don't know why that was slipping my mind. But I was talking to Dylan about this, who I think is off. I'll pull up one of his photos riding somewhere really cool. But they definitely don't feel quite as good as the standard casing, but so far I've had way better luck for having them on the Gunner. They're 55s of just holding up really well. Whereas the standard and extra light, riding the 42s and 44s I do on the Tamland. When I really beat them up, I end up putting tubes in them. So Raymond, Ultra Dynamico is where it's at. Yeah, I personally haven't ridden Ultra Dynamicos because I just really like the tread pattern on the Renaers. Is pretty similar. I think the way they're put together, they're both made in the same factory. Then different levels of casings like that. But for boutique, more expensive tires, people seem to prefer one or the other, or the Panda Racers, or what's the Mezcals. Who makes the Mezcals? Is that Continental? No. Mezcal. Who makes the Mezcal? Those are another popular supple tire, though. Lyndon said, tubes with removable valve stems and put endurance or orange sealant in them. I've heard of people doing sealant into the tubes. Used to flat a lot, haven't flatted in a couple years. And I haven't had a flat that wouldn't seal in a couple years. Yeah. I guess that's one way to do it. I feel like if ride quality is a priority, I feel like just going full tubeless is the best. But now people are really talking about what are those, what is that word? Exitol something, those super lightweight tubes that people are liking now. And even Renaers is selling. So valve cores, yeah, gotcha. Oh, TPU, that's what it is. I think I was naming the chemical they're made out of, the kind of rubber or whatever it is, latex. TPU tubes, just to see what the hype is all about. So I have the TPU tube in the back and sealant in the front. Yeah, and I guess, and again, I'm not that into performance, that sealant sloshing around has an effect on the ride as well, so that's why some people are really liking the super light tubes. But Kobe said, what's my opinion on cycling shoes? I don't have I don't use them, but I don't have a negative opinion on them. I just ride flat pedals with Vans old schools. So yeah, flat pedals with pins. Cages don't work for me, and I rode cages a lot when I rode my vintage road bikes, and they still have them on there, or even straps, which I like even better than cages. I ride off-road a lot now, and cages are super dangerous off-road. Just that double motion you need to get your foot out into the ground. Yeah, so it depends on what you're riding, but cages work fine. My dad cages and tennis shoes, and that's what I did more or less like growing up, like when I rode in my 20s. But so yeah, but I feel like cages give you the similar feeling to clipless. Clipless are a little safer, but then you have to deal with finding the shoes you like and finding the kind of pedals you like. So yeah, if you're happy with what you're running, just keep running it. So if you're gonna go off road, I would look into some flat pedals with like the kind of like pins that are real grippy. They would destroy running shoes though. You would want something a little different. So I like the BMX version of the Vans because they have more rubber on the bottom. They hold up a little better. Wes, you're all tubeless since 2017. Yeah, I wonder when I would have. Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering when I first went tubeless. I wouldn't know. Probably more like 2019 or something like that, I'd guess. Fat Bike Mike said the Polygon Bend R2 is $699 on sale right now. Oh, I wonder what the group set on that is. It's got to be a micro shift or something. But a carbon fork? I don't know. I would almost be scared of a $700 bike with a carbon fork. I would rather have a steel fork. How could you make a carbon fork that cheap?
You see those frame sets coming out of China.
Yeah, I guess they have it like down to a science now. The same thing's happening with camera lenses. Like a lot of the Chinese manufacturers are just using old school lens designs, and they could pump out those kind of lenses really cheap. So yeah, probably not that scary, but. Oh, dang. Stephanie, I rode a bare rim from Youngstown back to Girard last summer after having a flat on the back tire. No way to fix it.
Holy crap.
Jeez. That had to be a rough ride. And I have to assume it'd be all over the place, too, right? That's what I couldn't believe about the guy who was saying he went down Market Street. There's no, to use pathless pedal to word, purchase on the road surface. Like, if you turned, you would just go straight down, right? It'd be like riding on ice.
Especially, just
I'm guessing Stephanie might have been on trails, but
just think of Market Street and how terrible condition it is.
brutal. Tubeless ride's smoother than tubes, in my opinion. Like, I haven't used the TPU tubes or any. I did use some of like those old super light latex tubes in the Viscount, but that was on 32 millimeter tires, so the comparison's not the same. But in general, supple tires, you can run lower pressure tubeless, so you'll be smoother. You know, in the 44s I run on the Raleigh, like I'll run that like if I'm not, I could run that down to 30 and even below, and the 55s on my gun are even below that. So, oh, is the stream crashing? Huh. Dang it, why? Yeah, we are. We're buffering. Let me know if the audio is coming straight through. I'm going to try and come back to comments and skip ahead to see what's going on. A choppy audio and video. Damn it. Did I hook everything up right? Let's see. Are we wired? Or are we going on Wi-Fi? For some reason this got sent as the main monitor, and to get everything to pop up is a freaking pain. No, we're wired. Wired connection. What the hell? It doesn't matter. It's just saying it's not getting signal, so it's not like lowering it's going to help. I'm still not getting anything. It's YouTube. It's not us.
It can't be the internet. I'm uploading right now.
Yeah, what is, I don't know what it is. I think it's got to be YouTube. I'll type in. I'm trying to think of what I could even do. I mean, it's hardwired. There's nothing to. Let's see what the. Let me see. That's not what I want to do.
Hey, welcome back, Petapixel viewers. It